Hi there. Before we begin, please dim the lights. Total blackout earns bonus relaxation points. Find your coziest position and tap that subscribe button so you can locate this sleepy corner next time the Annunaki overlords forget to reset your alarm. Later, wander to the comments and tell me where you're listening from, be it apartment, pyramid, or orbiting mothership. All settled? Good. Let us drift back roughly 450,000 years, give or take a translation error, to a Mesopotamian plain where the roofs are made of baked clay. The ziggurats scrape early sky, and the neighbors discuss quota tallies more often than weather. Tonight's theme is simple. You, modern, soft-handed, password-protected, would not last a single shift as an Anunnaki-era worker. We'll catalog, in calm detail and with mild humor, the tiny inconveniences that would send you sprinting for the nearest wormhole before the sun completed its lofty climb above the Euphrates. We begin with the wake-up call. Forget snooze buttons. A brass gong shaped like an irritated eagle rings at pre-dawn, vibrating clay walls and any ambitions of extra sleep. You roll off a mat stuffed with straw and reed, firm enough to pass for compressed geology, and immediately remember gravity here feels heavier when quotas lag behind. Central heating is provided by the climate of ancient Mesopotamia, which thoughtfully swings from chilly pre-dawn to kiln-hot noon in a single narrative arc. Your work tunic, woven from scratchy flax fibers, does not differentiate between the two. It itches during cold and glues itself to sweat during heat, an outfit committed to discomfort across temperature spectra. Breakfast is utilitarian, a bowl of barley porridge spiked with pulverized date pits for texture and trace minerals. A supervisor tallies your portion, recording caloric output potential on a clay tablet that claims to be impartial, but clearly favors taller laborers. Coffee is centuries away. Instead, a sip of fermented camel milk tries and fails to convince your brain it's caffeinated. First chore involves the irrigation canals. Silt clogs sluice gates overnight, forming a sludge determined to outlast optimism. You wield a wooden shovel heavy as shame, scooping mud perfumed with ancient algae and yesterday's fish gossip. Every fourth scoop, an overseer inspects progress while casually polishing a copper rod that doubles as motivational prop. Language barriers present unique hurdles. Anunnaki managers issue instructions in a dialect reminiscent of singing basalt rocks. Sumerian scribes translate into cuneiform shorthand, which an assistant then yells downstream in Akkadian slang before it finally reaches you as frantic hand gestures near the silt pile. By the time orders filter through, you're 50% certain they now read, "Move mud to mud." Mid-morning heat swells, copper tools warm to frying pan status. Shade exists only as rumor beneath a palm tree colonized by cranky ibises. Sweat evaporates before hitting the ground, ascending directly to weather report status. Hydration break equals a gulp of lukewarm river water passed through a reed straw that sympathetically filters nothing. Lunch, flatbread the diameter of a shield, topped with exactly one smear of fermented fish paste advertised as umami prototype. You eat while squat perched on sandstone warmed to griddle temperature, staring at distant ziggurat tiers where elite priests debate planetary gold quotas while staying delightfully shade-bound. Jealousy counts as dessert. Post-lunch task, hauling quarried stone blocks for temple expansion. These blocks rival small meteors in both weight and personal grudge. Wooden rollers creak, ropes fray, overseers chant pacing songs with all the cheer of tax audits. Occasionally, a supervising Annunaki adjusts trajectory with a gesture that somehow increases gravitational pull. Purely anecdotal, of course. Afternoon sun tilts west, but brightness refuses to surrender. Your tunic now adheres like second epidermis. Sandals carve blister cartography on soles. Still, quotas respect neither heat index nor existential dread. Stone must reach foundation before stargazing ceremony at dusk. You push, heave, chant, and reconsider every life choice back to your earliest mitochondria. When the final block slots into place, a trumpet carved from goat horn blares triumph, but mostly signals shift change. You stagger to communal well, wash dust off credibility, and hope the overseer forgets the bonus tablet scribbled earlier in moment of optimism. Spoiler, he remembers, but scribes misplace the tablet among thousands. Bureaucracy occasionally moonlights as mercy. Evening meal rewards endurance with spiced lentil stew. Flavorful, but daring your digestion to a duel. Around fires, co-workers swap rumors. Annunaki architects plan orbital relocations, or maybe just bigger gardens. Either way, human workers likely still dig foundations. The priest astronomer points at constellations, explaining which star cluster pays biggest bonus in harvested gold. Figures that outshine hope by several magnitudes. Night cools the desert. Stars emerge fierce and unblinking. You roll onto straw mat, muscles pulsing Morse code for never again, knowing dawn's gong respects neither sarcasm nor fatigue. Yet, somewhere beyond exhaustion, a strange pride simmers. Ancient, stubborn, human. You moved Earth under alien skies and lived to grumble about it. Sleep edges closer, a welcome overseer finally waving the copper rod toward rest. Dawn's gong hammers you awake once more. The desert air feels cooler today, tinged with metallic scent. A sign the Annunaki orbital refinery has fired thrusters overhead, stirring trace ions into morning breeze. You spot its faint silhouette against the paling stars. A silver crescent moving slow as prophecy, collecting gold dust shipments lofted skyward by rockets you've only heard described in awed whispers. Today's agenda arrives on a clay tablet stamped with cuneiform and small stylus sketches of flying barges. Task 1. Transport sealed amphorae of processed river silt to the launch platform. Raw material destined for extraterrestrial alchemy. Task 2. Polish the landing tiles where shuttle pods kiss ground. Any debris could dent Annunaki pride, and dented pride recalculates worker headcount with alarming efficiency. No mention of coffee, but you're past hope on that front. First, the amphorae. Each jar weighs more than your combined regrets. Clay handles bite palms as you and two companions hoist onto sledges greased with date palm oil. Overseers remind everyone that silt to gold conversion depends on purity. Any spillage will be deducted in triple from rations. Motivation achieved, sledges glide with newfound reverence across compacted sand. You reach the launch platform, an oval of black stone rumored to have fallen from the sky, impossibly smooth and slightly warm despite dawn chill. Docked beside it rests a shuttle pod, bronze hull etched with swirling glyphs that hum at frequencies just below hearing. Annunaki technicians, tall, ivory-skinned eyes reflecting sunrise like liquid metal, supervise the transfer, scanning each jar with crystal rods that glow green when purity satisfies interstellar standards. Once cargo is secured, technicians retreat, crystals dim, shuttle lifts silently, gravity negotiating temporary truce. Sand whirls and spirals, peppering exposed faces. You shield eyes, marveling at thrusters brighter than day, yet leaving no scorch mark on stone. Moments later, it streaks upward, a comet of purpose bound for orbital refinery where gold vaporizes into thin films destined for cosmic circuitry. Polishing duty follows. You kneel beside landing tiles, wielding pumice stone and goat hair brush dipped in abrasive slurry. Each circular stroke reflects sky a bit clearer until your own sweating reflection stares back, warped by angles humanity didn't invent. Fellow workers murmur about rumors. Some say the Annunaki paved new colonies among Saturn's moons. Others claim they engineer atmospheres by layering gold leaf across planetary magnetospheres. Both possibilities weigh equally unreal, yet equally likely these days. Midday brings inspection parade. A high administrator descends from orbit in a sleek skimmer shaped like a falcon silhouette. Gold trim accentuates aerodynamic arrogance. He glides down ramp wearing robes stitched with star charts. You recognize Orion, but the rest seem drawn from future history. He observes polished tiles, curls one corner of flawless mouth, and utters a single syllable, adequate. Celebration would be overkill. Survival is enough. Lunch rations follow. Flatbread, pressed figs, and a sip of diluted honey wine, reward for adequate work. Conversation turns to quotas. Rumor has it, next cycle's gold requirement increases by 1 talent per 100 workers, thanks to unforeseen comet mining accident. Someone jokes that humans should unionize. Laughter erupts, partly sincere, partly a pressure valve releasing steam before overseers overhear. Afternoon involves drafting new irrigation trenches, following blueprints traced onto translucent stone slabs. Lines denote angles based on star positions, ensuring water flows with cosmic endorsement. You dig, spade crunching through sun-baked earth, while overhead, Annunaki observation drone hovers, an obsidian orb reflecting everyone's toil and fisheye gloom. Its silent vigilance reminds you performance reviews now span planets. Heat peaks, desert wavers, air tastes metallic again. Launch cycles increase atmospheric residue. You tie damp cloth around mouth, trade nod with neighboring laborer whose eyes share identical fatigue mixed with stupefied wonder. We build the ladder our masters climb, rung by rung, gold flake by gold flake. Yet part of you marvels at being witness to engineering that stitches Earth to stars. Dusk approaches, canals glint copper, shuttle contrails fade violet, overseers tally progress, stamping clay tablets with cylinder seals depicting winged deities holding measuring rods. Your section meets target. Relief flows, thin but refreshing. Workers disperse toward reed huts as twin moons, one real, one projection of orbital stations' reflective panels, rise in tandem, painting surreal shadows across silt banks. Evening meal features lentils simmered with a pinch of imported cinnamon. Extravagance, courtesy of trade caravan diverted from as yet unbuilt Silk Road. Around communal fire, elders recount earliest arrivals of Anunnaki skyships, pillars of fire, voices like thunder, and promises of mutual prosperity that translated in practice to, we prosper, you mutually labor. Humor dulls edges of truth. Laughter crackles along with firewood. Before sleep, priest astronomer invites all to gaze upon bright streak crossing horizon. Supply shuttle en route to Mars outpost, carrying your day's amphorae transmuted into shimmer and ingots. He claims those ingots will line future temples on moons yet unnamed, memorializing contributions of workers whose names will never reach the stars. Silence follows. Pride and resignation share the same blanket tonight. You roll onto straw mat, joints aching, ears still ringing faintly with gong memory. Tomorrow promises more mud, more gold, more skyships, and more tiny victories, like a cup of honey wine savored in shade. Somewhere far above, the Annunaki refinery glitters, harvesting your toil into cosmic currency. And maybe, just maybe, the stars will remember. Midnight drags you from sleep sooner than expected. Emergency shift. The gong sounds lower, slower, as if even metal objects resent overtime. Overseers usher crews toward the ziggurat base where floodlights, crystals lit by captive lightning, bathe ancient bricks in cold blue glare. Rumor whispers a fresh load of alluvial gold was spotted upstream, and Annunnaki's scheduling algorithms never nap. You march with tools while stars watch, indifferent. The riverbank operation whirs. Floating dredge platforms shimmer under torchlight, scooping riverbed muck into sieves, vibrating by water wheel power. Annunaki technicians adjust frequency with quartz rods. The silt practically sings as heavier flecks settle into troughs destined for orbit. Workers line up to haul buckets ashore, footprints carving new cartography in mud. A colleague jokes that one day gold will be so common the Annunaki will pave streets with it. Another replies, if streets float between planets, maybe. Laughter evaporates quick. Weight of buckets reminds everyone which species does the paving and which does the lifting. Still, humor lingers like contraband spiced, smuggled morale in plain sight. Break time, 5 minutes. You sip tepid barley water while drone hovers overhead, red lens blinking every other heartbeat. Its presence spawns speculation. Some claim it records output metrics. Others swear it scans genetics to flag ideal subjects for Annunaki enhancement labs said to operate beneath distant desert plateaus. Nobody volunteers for confirmation. Back to work. A shovel strike reveals something unexpected. Obsidian shard etched with ancient star map, older than even Annunaki arrival lore. Overseer pockets it fast, muttering about classified archaeology, extra shift promised if anyone else digs up cosmic secrets. Motivation weaponized. Digging speeds double despite groans from spines contemplating mutiny. Pre-dawn cold meets river mist, turning banks into spectral carta. Suddenly, sky to east brightens. Not sunrise, but shuttle exhaust painting clouds orange-white. The craft descends to nearby pad, cargo bay yawning open like hungry eclipse. Buckets of concentrate roll aboard via conveyor belts. Each thud a footnote in universal ledger where gold equals leverage. Supervisors announce production target met. Relief ripples down line faster than barley water through porous jug. Tools stowed, shoulders slump, but spirits lift a notch. An Annunaki quartermaster distributes tiny lozenges, nutrient tablets rumored to contain condensed fruit flavors from Eden prototypes. They taste mostly of minerals and expensive hope. Still, novelty counts as luxury. Return march reaches settlement, just as real dawn kindles horizon. Clay walls blush pink. Goats greet you with bleats demanding overdue breakfast. You dump boots outside, sand pouring like hourglass confession, and step into Longhouse, where warmth licks sore muscles. Breakfast porridge never looked more inviting, even with crushed date pits still plotting dental insurrection. A brief rest allowed before regular shift. Time bends like reed under weight of quotas. You recline, eyes drifting upward to rafters where spider webs glisten, each strand catching newborn sunlight, each bead of dew a tiny lens reflecting worlds above and below. Somewhere beyond roof, starships crisscross heavens carrying precious metal mined by exhausted hands. Somewhere beneath blanket, your heartbeat marches same rhythm as gong, resigned yet unbeaten. Noon brings council meeting. Scribes reveal new imperial edict. All gold yield must increase 10% to support construction of solar sail fleet meant to harness stellar winds. Numbers scrawled across clay tablets outpace human comprehension. Still, each worker assigned extra bucket quota, effective immediately. A collective sigh heavier than ore passes through hall. Privately, murmurs of pushback bubble, talk of slowing output so quotas recalibrate to human endurance. Yet drones record every hour. Sabotage reads like self-inflicted famine. One elder proposes bureaucratic resistance, misfile clay tablets, confuse accounting priests, exploit empire's newfound love of paperwork. Rebellion by red tape. Meeting ends with cautious nods and quickly hidden smiles. Afternoon sun scorches, canal silt, dredging resumes. But you notice slower rhythms, shovels lifted with deliberate ceremony, workers pausing to double-check clarity of overseer orders, scribes requesting recalculations of already counted loads. Output graph edges downward so slightly that only algorithms might complain. Algorithms lack empathy, but require evidence. Evidence dissolves in mud just as easily as gold flakes rise. As day ends, shuttle streaks skyward again, but cargo hold emptier than projections. Overseers log anomalies, priests consult omens, drones hover longer, uncertain whether to flag inefficiency or ambient cosmic variance. You return to Longhouse, sensing gears shift beneath Empire's veneer. Small delays can tilt colossal machinery given enough repetition. Resistance, it seems, might wear the quiet smile of bureaucratic confusion. Night settles, stars shine unchanged, though you swear they wink conspiratorial approval. Tomorrow promises more mud, more quotas, more silent calculations. But tonight, rest claims weary limbs, and somewhere in dreamscape you pilot a starship made of gratitude, not gold, charting course to futures where labor sings rather than groans. Weeks pass. The incremental slowdown strategy spreads like dune grass. Patient, persistent. Auditors from the orbital refinery arrive to diagnose productivity drift. Tall, amber-eyed, they carry tablets inscribed with cuneiform too precise to be human, each symbol glowing faintly when stroked. They question overseers, measure silt piles with beams of light, and leave behind uneasy silence heavier than fresh mud. In response, quotas leap again. Another talent of gold per 100 buckets. Human shoulders sag. Even drones hover lower, as if weighted by arithmetic. Priest astronomer proposes celestial appeasement, a grand ceremony at ziggurat apex, offerings of incense, song, and maybe a fractional increase in output if cosmic favor returns. Skeptics note, incense does not move mud, but anything is worth a try when hands blister faster than gold accumulates. Preparation begins. Scribes carve hymns onto clay tablets baked extra hard to survive either divine reception or bureaucratic audit. Weavers craft banners from dyed flax. Patterns depict Anunnaki winged figures lifting humanity toward stars. Idealized propaganda inverted from reality. Workers practice chant steps, stumbling over syllables borrowed from languages extinct before memory, each mispronunciation politely ignored by supervising monks. Ceremony night arrives under full moon, and orbiting refineries reflected glow. Torches line ziggurat staircase, flames wobbling like nervous witnesses. At summit, offerings, baskets of first fruits, jars of fragrant oil, and a single amphora of finest river silt sprinkled with scarce saffron threads, symbolic yield of earth and human intention. Chant rises, a blend of guttural Akkadian, lilting Sumerian, and resonant Anunnaki overtones pulsing low, felt more than heard. Midway through ritual, unexpected sign appears. Sky ripples along northern horizon, aurora-like curtain of copper and violet, swirling in silent turbulence. Priest claims deity response. Astronomer frowns, suspecting magnetic flux from refinery thrusters firing unexpectedly. Workers exchange glances, omen or engine wash. Either way, quotas likely unaffected by cosmic light show. Next morning, refinery transmits edict. Productivity curve must normalize within one lunar cycle, or automated harvesters will replace human labor for canal dredging. Rumor whispers these machines move without rest, guided by crystalline minds uninterested in lunch breaks or jokes about goat politics. Fear blends with stubborn pride. A decision takes root. If replaced, humans lose leverage entirely. Resistance must shift from subtle slowdown to ingenious negotiation. Plan forms a communal fire pit. Step 1. Finish a single canal section to perfection, exceed quota dramatically, then present data showing human adaptability superior to automated monotony. Step 2. Embed intentional irregularities in next section, curves only human intuition can adjust on the fly, to demonstrate robots lack problem-solving nuance. Step 3. Propose hybrid system. Humans oversee fine-tuning, machines handle brute lifting, quotas drop to sustainable pace, everyone saves face, especially those carved onto coins. Execution is arduous, but galvanizing. For 5 days, crews work with precision unseen since original river taming. Drones record every shovel of silt. Overseers note progress with widening eyes. Even GOAT lends moral support by not chewing rope for an entire week. Completed canal shimmers under sunlight, water flowing as smoothly as myth. Auditors nod, recalculating graphs. Next phase, controlled imperfection. Workers introduce subtle slope deviations, accentuated silt pockets, geometry that confuses drones' linear algorithms. Machines deployed for test begin well, then stall, misreading depth. Automated scoops jam on buried pottery shards, accidentally planted as obstacles. Human crews step in, adjust angle by keen eye, restore flow in minutes while robots beep disgruntlement. Final negotiations take place under tent of striped silk, color-coded for diplomacy. Human representatives, the priest, astronomer, and one goat, uninvited but persistent, present data plates to Anunnaki administrator. Charts indicate hybrid model increases output 8%, reduces equipment attrition, and offers public relations boon of cooperative peace. Administrator's eyes flicker silver after long silence. Verdict delivered. Proposal accepted pending 30 solar evaluation. Bureaucracy interprets as provisional victory. Celebration modest yet heartfelt. Clay mugs of honey beer passed around, drums echo across canals newly efficient in both flow and symbolism. Elders remark that surviving gods, kings, and quarterly audits requires same virtues: adaptability, unity, and strategic goat deployment. Laughter rings genuine, rippling out to river where reflections of orbital lights dance like coins scattered on black silk. Night deepens once again. You lie on mat, muscles weary but spirit buoyed. Overhead, refinery glimmers, still harvesting gold, but perhaps now valuing the mines that mined it, not just the ore. Sleep edges close, carrying dreams of future where human hands guide starships, not merely load them, still harsh, still humorous, always historic. Evaluation period launches with clockwork precision. Annunaki auditors install obsidian pillars along canal banks, each topped with crystal eyes that blink chartreuse whenever productivity metrics ping baseline. Workers quickly nickname them glow stalks and invent a sport, wager how many blinks occur per hour. Loser hauls extra silt. Overseers pretend disapproval, yet even they place small bets. Morale is inefficiency's best disguise. Hybrid workflow proves quirky, yet functional. Automated dredgers handle heavy lift. Humans finesse curves. Goat supervises snack quality. Productivity graphs settle into acceptable oscillations like heartbeats after sprint. Administrator observes, face unreadable, occasionally tapping crystal stylus against armored tablet, as if drumming impatience in binary. Midway through trial, cosmic shipment arrives. Cargo drop capsule from outer system containing new alloy components for refinery upgrade. Its descent tears dawn sky, parachutes blossoming golden, literal gold because showmanship sells loyalty. Capsule lands with ground-shaking thud. Workers sprint to secure area while auditors scan for damage to glowstalk network. None damaged, but goat faints dramatically, ensuring extra grain ration and compensation. Unpacking capsule reveals crates stamped with indecipherable glyphs and caution sigils resembling angry suns. Annunaki techs handle them wearing gloves, shimmering like liquid mercury. Humans relegated to note-taking and wide-eyed wonder. One crate mislabels its mass. Lift drones miscalculate, nearly toppling. Human spotter intervenes, wedging pry bar under skid, saving alloy from gravity-induced indignity. Auditor's log, human adaptability score +1. Cultural exchange continues. Monks request lessons in Annunaki harmonic mathematics used to stabilize orbital platforms. In return, they teach alien engineers fermentation techniques yielding barley wine far superior to nutrient lozenges. Collaboration yields plans for fermentation tanks pressurized with lunar basalt valves, proof that synergy tastes like future hangovers. Even the glowstalk eyes blink lilac, interpreted as approval or diagnostics mode, take your pick. At evaluation's end, administrators summon council beneath ziggurat shadow. Humans, drones, goat, and one confused ibis assemble. Edict announced, hybrid system permanent, quotas revised downward 7%, margin credited to organic variance optimization. Cheers ripple softly, enthusiasm tempered by exhaustion, but genuine. Goat bleats triumphant, immediately chewing on new parchment decree until rescued by scribe. Lower quotas free daylight slivers for unheard luxuries. Short breaks beneath Palm Grove, impromptu reed flute lessons, even experimental foot races along canal edges. Productivity paradoxically nudges upward. Content workers lift more mud. Go figure. Auditors scratch heads, log findings under morale multiplier, and begin drafting white paper no one will read outside their orbital think tank. Seasons pivot, floodwaters recede. A new constellation appears in southern sky. Annunaki engineers birthed an artificial star array to guide interstellar freight routes. Locals dub it the Tether, imagining invisible chains linking Earth's labor to galactic marketplaces. Skalds compose ballads, one verse praising cosmic ambition, another questioning whether wages adjust for interplanetary inflation. Tech diffusion accelerates. Alloy tools replace copper. Canal gates retrofit with gravitational dampers. Stone slabs now glide with fingertip push. Spare dampers repurposed into village playground rides. Children spin faster than physics textbooks predict, laughter rising above palm fronds. Auditors note potential safety hazard. Parents note potential bedtime guarantee. Compromise reached at, spin moderately. Priest astronomer publishes treatise, clay tablet strung like accordion, detailing heliocentric truth gleaned from Anunnaki star charts. Traditionalists scoff. They prefer Sun Chariot version, simpler to carve into beer mugs. Debate spills into tavern, where mouthfuls of barley wine punctuate planetary arguments. Conclusion: heliocentric model accepted if it lowers beer tax. Despite progress, whispers of withdrawal surface. Anunnaki considering relocating refinery to asteroid belt where gravity tax is cheaper. Workers feel tremor of uncertainty. What happens when overlords depart? Quotas vanish, but so might trade, medicine, novelty. Council convenes contingency committee. Goat chairs morale subcommittee by popular demand. Plan forms. Diversify economy before departure. Canals to irrigate flax for linen exports. Pottery kilns scaled up. Knowledge exchange formalized into school by ziggurat steps. Skald volunteers to teach storytelling in return for literacy lessons. Syllabary meets saga in after-hour sessions lit by glow crystals. Donated once they fell below industrial lumens, spes. Civilization learns that resilience writes its own mythology. Departure day arrives quietly. Shuttle fleets lift refinery modules portion by portion, shining arcs across dawn like molten comets. No grand speeches, just hum of engines and rustle of wind over newly planted barley fields. Workers stand shoulder to shoulder, eyes tracing ascent until vessels fade into blue, leaving silence thick as wet clay. Transition begins. Glow-stalk pillars dim, drones power down, their last blink a polite bow out from duty. Humans inherit entire canal network, alloy tools, and hard-won knowledge. With quotas lifted, they set own goals. Flood control upgrades, crop rotations optimized for taste, not only yield and festival schedule recalibrated to include naps. Nights feel wider, without orbiting refinery lights, stars showing true intensity. Children marvel at constellations unmasked. Elders rename clusters after local legends rather than distant administrators. Priest astronomer still records movements, now for joy rather than compliance reports. Goat commemorates occasion by not chewing anything important for full hour. Miracles confirmed. Life remains harsh. Droughts revisit, fevers flare, and mud still clings to sandals. Yet agency tastes sweeter than honey wine. Fields sown for community, not quotas. Songs composed for celebration, not endurance. Stars watched for wonder, not deadlines. The Anunnaki era fades into layered stories, some cautionary, some comedic, all invaluable sediment on riverbed of memory. Tomorrow's dawn will ring no gong, only the quiet invitation of possibility. And as you lay on straw mat, muscles tired yet free from immediate quotas, you consider how impossibly far humanity traveled under alien expectations. now ready to chart its own constellations across future skies. A year into self-rule, drought stalks the valley like a predator with endless patience. Canals shrink to muddy ribbons, and even the glow-stalk pillars, now repurposed as lamp posts, blink amber, warning of falling water tables. Council declares all hands irrigation fortnight, turning every trade into bucket brigade, scribes hall, healers hall, even goat interns hall, mostly morale. Emergency engineering dusts off Annunaki dampers stored in granary attic. Tinkerers bolt them to wooden pumps, generating suction so strong it startles catfish into voluntary relocation upstream. Water rises just enough. Fields sip thankfully. Auditors, now hobbyists, log results with satisfied hums and no threat of quotas. In gratitude, potters craft commemorative mugs shaped like glow-stalk eyes. They glaze them chartreuse, of course, so every sip of barley tea blinks encouragement at weary farmers. Festival follows, featuring canal bank foot races where winner receives a lifetime goat chew exemption certificate notarized by 3 elders and 1 reluctant ibis. Trade network flourishes under drought-tested resilience. Nars cruise the Euphrates loaded with linen, glazed mugs, and pamphlets titled Hybrid Productivity, a post-Annunaki success story, part satire, part sales pitch. Merchants return with olive seedlings, tin ingots, and rumors of distant empires copying canal dampers without proper goat accreditation. Council convenes intellectual property discussion, ultimately ruled ideas flow like water, let them irrigate. Besides, Valley now exports consultation teams. Former overseers turned efficiency gurus, teaching far-off towns the art of morale math and strategic coffee substitutes. Fees collected in spices and sparkling gossip keep local taverns buzzing long after curfew bells. Also, glow-stalk-powered trademark. One star-bright evening, the priest-astronomer gathers villagers atop the ziggurat. Through reclaimed crystal lens, he reveals a faint glimmer on horizon. Annunaki fleet gliding toward other constellations. Gold sails catching solar wind like distant dragonflies. He smiles, noting parallax proves they will not return soon. Humanity's apprenticeship is officially over. Below, children cheer, not for departure, but for autonomy measured in starlight rather than quotas. With that, Council retires for the night, leaving only embers, crickets, and a goat thoughtfully nibbling the edge of an old compliance tablet. The tablet cracks. Dust drifts away. Just another layer settling onto the fertile silt of memory, ready to nourish tomorrow's stories. Rumor ignites one humid dawn. A lone Annunaki courier pod will land at the old launch pad to collect forgotten survey crystals. Most villagers shrug, plenty to do on Earth, but one restless worker, Tagu, tastes wanderlust sharper than fermented fig wine. He tells no one, slips out under palm-shadowed dusk, pocketing 3 barley flatbreads, a reed pen, and goat-chew deterrent paste, just in case. Approach is half-hike, half-stealth crawl through abandoned drone sheds. Glow-stalk eyes, long since dimmed, still loom like judgment. Tagu ducks beneath their glassy stare, heartbeat sinking to remembered quota rhythm. At pad's edge stands the courier pod, coppery hull, landing legs folded like metallic cranes awaiting origami instructions. Hatch cycles open. A maintenance drone buzzes out, trailing faint classical Annunaki elevator music. Tagu seizes moment, dashes across ramp, dwarfing into shadow behind crate labeled Stellar Soil Samples. Do not snack. He breathes shallow, praying reed pen won't clatter against crate wall. Goat paste tube squirts slightly, scenting air with time and anti-chew despair. Inside, cargo bay lights strobe soft lavender. Every blink reads boxes, updating manifest in invisible script. Tagu inches toward a stack of survey capsules, each big enough to crouch within if joints bend like optimism. He selects one marked Geological B. Iapetus candidate, unlatches lid, finds interior lined with shock-absorbed gel reminiscent of day-old porridge. Shrugging at symbolism, he squeezes in, replaces lid, and hopes lavender lights ignore extra heartbeat frequency. Minutes crawl, hatch seals, engines hum, the bass note of destiny. Acceleration pins Tagu into gel, flatbreads escape pouch, plaster face, pen lodges behind ear heroic style, goat paste tube squishes, entire reserve onto elbow. Cabin gravity eases as pod reaches cruising altitude. Artificial field calibrates, leaving stowaway semi-weightless and fully questioning life choices. A whispery announcement in Annunaki streams through cabin speakers. Coordinates, ETA, snack protocol, non-goat. Tagu deciphers gist thanks to long-ago overseer jargon. Short hop to orbital depot for manifest validation, then slingshot toward asteroid relay point. He has perhaps an hour before depot customs inspection, time enough to hatch a plan or hyperventilate for sport. Hyperventilation loses coin toss. Plan, emerge, disguise as maintenance tech, blend with drones, exit at depot supply corridor, claim emergency shuttle back, return home as legend or cautionary verse. Problem, maintenance suits sized for 8-foot bioluminescent beings. Solution, stack 2 supply crates under tunic and hope perspective illusions fool scanners. Unlikely. Alternate solution, social engineering. Tagu unlatches capsule, peers over rim. Cargo bay empty except roving inventory drone humming lullaby of logistics. He steps out floating, barley crumbs orbiting like personal asteroid belt. Drone pivots toward him, lens glows blue. Tagu raises reed pen like security wand and states, in best Annunaki accent approximated from overheard gongs, unexpected biological calibration sample, Serial 12B, proceed manifest update. Silence. Drone beeps uncertain triad, scans Tagu head to sandal, goat paste on elbow registers as organic adhesive approved. Lens turns green. Manifest updates with new line of cuneiform Tagu will later translate as miscellaneous curiosity. Handle with caution. Success-ish. Cargo bay hatch slides to corridor leading toward cockpit modules. Tagu drifts, reattaching lid loosely behind him. Hall walls pulse soft chartreuse guiding lights. Overhead, digital symbols count down kilometers to depot. Less than 15,000, practically next door by Astro standards. At junction, a wardrobe unit opens automatically, revealing maintenance garments adjustable via nanofabric seams. Jackpot. Suit seals around him, resizing until comfortable-ish. Helmet visor projects translation overlay. He steps on to lift platform just as intercom announces docking sequence. Doors part to reveal star-speckled void and colossal depot ring aglow with arrays of gold leaf panels. The final destination for countless human buckets of silt. Docking clamps click like distant thunder softened by vacuum. The lift glides into a cavernous bay buzzing with drones and 3 towering Annunaki logistics offices reviewing holographic cargo spirals. Tagu's visor flashes prompts in phonetic Annunaki. Present clearance. He taps helmet side. hoping random beeps equal credentials. A hollow pass materializes, thanks nanofabric, labeled Bioanomaly Handler, Tier Beta, good enough to confuse HR, bad enough to be real. He joins a line of service mechs shuttling crates toward grav sleds. Each mech drops payload on conveyor, salutes with hydraulic hiss, then powers down for recharge. Tagu mimics salute. Elbow paste drips onto deck, sizzling minutely. Unknown chemical reaction or goat karma catching up. An officer's eye slits narrow. Visor translates his mutter. Maintenance fluids leaking again. Crisis averted by misplaced blame on machinery. Conveyor tunnels stretch like intestines of a steel leviathan. Taku rides a pallet marked low priority geological slag, crouching behind crates tall as temple doors. Monitor drones glide overhead, scanning barcodes. Visor suggests counterfeit pattern. He scribbles improvised stripes with reed pen and barley crumb ink. Low resolution, high confidence. Scanners pass, register obscure aura sample. Beep contentedly. Reed pen promoted to counterfeiting tool of the decade. Pallet breaks beside side hatch labeled Auxiliary Ejection Bay, Non-Hazardous Refuse. Ejection modules double as escape pods during emergencies. Tagu's chance rides here. He pries maintenance panel, slips inside cramped capsule, smelling of recycled ozone and faint regret. Console blinks waiting for biometrics. Helmet projects, generic maintenance ID, goat paste fingerprint smears across sensor. System accepts with resigned chirp. Countdown auto initiates. 10 heartbeats to jettison. Tagu straps in, clutching last flatbread like travel visa. Capsule detaches, spinning gently away from depot glow. Thrusters fire microbursts, orienting nose toward Earth's shimmering curve. Blue ribbon, edged by dawn. Nav display estimates splash down near familiar delta if atmospheric roulette cooperates. He whispers, promise to trade cosmic tales for extra honey wine rations. Re-entry alarms, whoop cheerful warnings. Heat shield ablaze outside, capsule interior warms like summer clay kiln. Visor fogs flatbread, toasts itself aroma of bravery and carbs. Tagu laughs, first genuine laugh since quotas dominated sky, then braces as gravity hugs hard. Parachutes deploy with gut-yanking tug. Descent slows. Clouds part, revealing meandering canals, distant ziggurat, and a goat absolutely not where it should be on riverbank. Splash down. Capsule bobbing amid reeds. Tagu unseals hatch, greeted by chorus of frogs and one astonished fisherman, convinced Star has fallen into his net. Word spreads faster than quota gongs. Worker rides skyboat, brings news of life beyond glowstalk eyes, and complimentary flatbread crusts toasted in genuine orbital heat. Council convenes emergency feast. Goat becomes keynote speaker by default. Tagu recounts depot corridors, alloy crates, and the grand celestial market invisible from fields. Children stare wide-eyed. Elders nod slow. Stars overhead twinkle like approving auditors of destiny rewritten by stowaway courage and crumb ink ingenuity. Morning after the skyboat feast dawns with lingering excitement and mild honey wine headaches. Council gathers to discuss unexpected profits from Tagu's celestial intel. Apparently toasted flatbread commands high barter value as astral cuisine. First agenda item, allocate surplus to improve worker rest quarters because half the village currently wakes up creased like clay tablets left under a goat hoof. Craftsmen assemble prototypes, bed frames carved from leftover alloy crates, lightweight yet sturdy enough to survive midnight goat incursions. Slats topped with woven palm fiber lattices, tensioned by gravitational damper springs, scavenged from retired glow-stalk pillars. A test bounce sends apprentice 2 handspans into air. Conclusion: comfortable, but perhaps too enthusiastic. Stuffing material becomes community brainstorming sport. Straw loses points for itch. Reeds squeak like gossip. Wool scarce after winter. Tagu suggests repurposed shock-absorbed gel from survey capsules, already body contouring, slightly cool to touch, smells only faintly like cosmic porridge. Gel slabs sliced, wrapped in linen, inserted atop palm lattice. Voila! First memory foam mattress of Mesopotamia, courtesy of interstellar shipping errors. Official unveiling held at sunset. Workers queue to test, each reclining with suspicious caution, then emitting sigh previously undocumented in village acoustics registry. Goat attempts to nibble corner, discovers gel texture unpleasant, walks off muttering, unprecedented victory for furniture longevity. Overseers quietly note productivity spike next day. Well-rested backs lift mud with 14% more cheer. Auditors, now hobbyists, log data under rest fuel efficiency. Draft addendum suggesting mandatory nap policy. Council debates. Agrees to pilot midday siesta with bonus dreams if cosmic scheduling allows. Tagu's upgraded bed earns nickname Starlit Hammock, though it sits firmly on legs. Name sticks like goat paste on elbow. Children beg for mini versions. Carpenters adapt glow crystal fragments as underbed nightlights, blinking softly in chartreuse lullaby. Elders claim they haven't slept this well since before the first quota gong, a statement considered both praise and gentle indictment of past management practices. So night falls over a village dreaming on alien foam, under unfiltered constellations with goats disgruntled but resigned. Somewhere the abandoned depot logs miscellaneous curiosity still missing. Down here, curiosity sleeps soundly and wakes up stronger. Weeks roll by, and the starlit hammock revolution spreads beyond village walls. Trade caravans arrive expecting barley and leave instead with blueprints for celestial mattresses, complete with tiny vials of shock gel labeled "Do Not Taste." Potters craft decorative plaques reading "Rest is a resource," selling out faster than amphorae of wine. Proof Comfort now competes with intoxication on the luxury index. With sleep upgraded, daytime creativity surges. Weavers incorporate leftover gel scraps into seat cushions. Scribes design wrist rests that prevent reed pen callus inflation. Even fishermen line canoe benches, reporting 30% less numbness during dawn drifts. The goat, feeling neglected by this comfort craze, commandeers an off-cut slab and refuses to relinquish it, global symbol of ergonomic equality. Glow-stalk pillars find new careers as bed-frame posts, their inert crystal eyes repurposed into ambient nightlights pulsing soft lilac. Children count blinks to fall asleep. Parents count functional vertebrae each morning. Both numbers trend favorably. Council drafts first wellness charter, stipulating 1 rest day per 8, afternoon siesta bell, and mandatory goat paste storage away from bedding. Hard-won clause. Cultural ripple reaches art. Skald composes lullabies praising synergy of starfoam and earth dreams. Priests weave new liturgy, equating proper sleep with cosmic harmony. A visiting bard attempts rivalry by extolling virtues of traditional straw mats, but snores mid-performance on a demo hammock, ending debate with comedic endorsement. Economy adapts yet again. Merchants bundle gel mattresses with amphorae of calming herb oil, branding sets as full night voyage kits. New coin minted, obverse shows ziggurat, reverse depicts worker napping under stars, first currency to celebrate rest instead of conquest. Irony not lost on elders who remember quotas. They spend coins on better pillows, declaring interest payments finally worthwhile. Tagu, now honorary comfort architect, oversees construction of communal dormitory for travelers, each bunk a cloud trapped in linen. Inaugural night, visiting dignitary from upriver oversleeps his own ceremony. He wakes, praising mattresses as softer than bribe money, commissioning 50 on the spot. Commerce sealed, reputation soars, and the phrase, "sleep on it," gains literal profitability. Under a moon unmasked by orbital glare, villagers gather for first official siesta festival. They parade glow lamps, eat star-toasted flatbread, and share dreams recorded on clay tablets, read aloud between reed flute interludes. Even Goat receives laurels for pioneering contribution, though promptly eats them, proving a legacy can be both honored and digested. So ends another chapter carved from mud and starlight. Beds are softer, backs are stronger, and horizons feel closer now that rest fuels ambition instead of halting it. Close your eyes, traveler, good night, and may your dreams float as effortlessly as a hammock hung between earth and the endless sky.